Welcome to the Radical Care for Christian Counselors podcast. My name is Bethany Boring, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, let's make sure that you're in the right place. If you've ever struggled with the isolation and overwhelm of doing one-on-one coaching or one-on-one pastoral care or one-on-one care really with anyone, well, you're in the right place. We're a community here, and it is my passion and my drive that we can go further when you have a group of transformational people who can encourage you along your journey as well as encourage others. We need to do this together. It is my core value that I want to help people dare to do more than just survive and to step out and thrive in their calling. You're right in the middle of an amazing series as I'm walking everybody through publicly my journey with my latest project, the Joy Catcher Book. And if you want to grab a copy, you can grab one on Amazon.com or just visit thejoycatcherbook.com. A portion of every book sale goes right back to the Charge Syndrome Foundation. And it's no secret that I have physical challenges and stories to share about that. So that is what this book essentially does. There's a lot more into that. But today, I want to focus on when we're doing a project with other people, starting with the end in mind, noting that yes, the end can change, but your why is so important because it drives the entire process. So as you're listening to the conversation with me and Lowri, listen for that part. And if this is the first time that you're involved with this podcast or in the series, you can definitely listen, but you might be a little caught off guard. My encouragement to you is either A, watch the entire video at thejoycatcherbook.com, or go back a week or two and listen to some of the previous conversations so you're not completely in the dark. But if you're adventurous and you don't follow directions, much like myself sometimes, and you're going to listen anyway, just know it's me speaking with my illustrator, Lowri Williams, who's based out of the United Kingdom. And we're just talking about this book process and how it really was. So look forward to hearing your insight and stick around at the end because I love to hear what you're walking away with. And what I'm hearing about your story specifically is that you had people along the way that were like, Lowri, you've got this talent. You can do this. Like whether it was, even if your parents were like, oh, because they're probably scared. I mean, oh my goodness, like, you're maybe 3 hours away, But then you had the department that's like, yeah, and it went from conditional to unconditional. And you're like, no, I need to secure my spot. I need to be able to get in there. And then, but I'm also hearing that although there were the little people, there were these little signs along the way that you were, in the right place. There was also a lot of doubt. A lot of, so it's, I think sometimes we have a tendency, especially with projects like this, like, oh, they see the finished book. They don't see all the work that we had to do underneath, like the surface of all of this, even to get to where we are right now, to be able to do this book. But then also, it wasn't the easiest journey. For both of us. And there was also all this doubt. Even we have not, as we're recording this, we have not officially launched the book yet. So we're getting ready to go into that whole phase. And part of me is like, is anybody going to buy it? Like, I know there will be. But, it's just all this, like, I'm kind of holding my breath. Like, I don't know if you felt that too, Lowri, but it's like, okay, this could be released. Like, we're going to have family and friends that we're going to read it. And what are they going to think? Like,
Yeah. No, I agree. It's scary. Like even like the idea of it just being published and launched is like like my boyfriend like said to me a couple of days ago like, oh, how do you feel like it's actually like on Amazon as an ebook? And I was like, I'm excited, but I'm also terrified.
Right? Exactly.
And I
But
like
here's the thing.
I've felt so many like different emotions about it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna mark this down and we get to probably watch this video back, who knows when. But I'm gonna mark this down here. I don't care if like nobody buys it. Because
Yeah.
the journey that we've had up to this point, you're already at a better place. I'm in a better place for just being on this journey. Because I think so many times we define our success or worth by the outcome of something, like how many book sales. And I haven't I have an idea in my head how much I would love for the Charge Syndrome to get from this, because that is ultimately, well, I mean, obviously I want people to be encouraged and inspired, Yeah, but I want the charge syndrome. I want this to go for them to help support families. I really want that to happen. So I do
Mhm.
have a goal. I'm not going to tell anybody what that is, but I do have a goal in the back of my head. But even if we don't even come close to that, we have already over exceeded because I've gotten to know Lori. I've gotten to know a lot about books. I've gotten to know, oh my goodness, all the conversations I've had with people, all the, and I've already met people that I would have never met before because of
Yeah,
this process. So what I'm hearing from you, Lori, is one, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be challenges. Two, we have the capability, if we get the right people around us and with God, to overcome all of that. And number three, just because we reach that certain spot that we think that we need to get to, doesn't mean that we're successful or unsuccessful. You know,
yeah.
we're successful by just going that one step further than we just were. And so I'm calling us right now as being successful for doing the project. Congratulations.
Thank you. You too.
Great. Well, I want to pivot and ask a question. What is it that you want people to know about the Joy Catcher? Like, if you have somebody sitting in front of you, go, okay, Lori, should I get it? Like, why should I get the Joy Catcher book? Why is it so important? What would you say to them?
I think just like the whole idea of the story is to, like, as we've been talking about already, like, never to give up. And that
Mm,
you can learn whatever you set your mind to. Like, with the right people around you, the right support and care and love, and just whatever you set your mind to do with the right perseverance, you can do it.
mm,
Like, no matter what your situation is,
I love
everyone
that.
has a chance to do anything.
I love that. That's beautiful the way you said that. I'm hoping so too. And I love that. And I got a question for you too, because we worked on the wording of this a little bit too, because we wanted it to be for kids, but yet we also wanted to encourage the parents and even adults. Like, I think this book could be for anyone. So would you recommend this to a certain age? Would you recommend this to any specific people or anybody and everyone? Or who do you see? Because I know you probably already, maybe not. Maybe you haven't done this, but I have, selfishly weird. Anyway, I've had visions of like kids and parents and that like reading my book. Do you have
Yeah.
visions of like who it would look like? Like who are those people that you're like, yes, I cannot wait to get this book in their hands?
I think just like families, like
Mhm.
again, just the idea of like the parents being there with the children, they can like share that bond through the book, which that's what I also love about children's books. Like it gives the ability to have that like parent and child bond, like that time
Mm,
together, reading the story, but then you also have like the children like appreciating the illustrations and liking obviously the way it's been done and the colors and the things in it. And then you have the parents then appreciating the actual words and
mm,
understanding the different meaning and like the sort of the deeper meaning of the book.
mm. I love that. And that's so good. I didn't think about that. I mean, I'm always reminded of like here in the States anyway, we have, and I'm sure you probably have done it maybe, but we have, especially in elementary school, they have guest readers come in sometimes and read books and that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping to do that of some sort. It might be interesting to have me. I'll have to memorize it probably. I actually do not have my book memorized. People have asked me that. But anyway, I'll work on that. We got some time. So, but all that being said, that whole relational connection that happens, right?
Yeah,
And so I think it's really amazing that that's what we get to offer people as
yeah,
community. Because that's one thing that we really liked. In fact, that's one thing that we decided that's why the Charge Syndrome Foundation was really important to be a part
mm,
of this. But then also, like we talked about putting a QR code out there. Why was that important? Well, we wanted people to connect to us. Like if we didn't want to be these far reaching, like, oh, I know of that person. We want them to like, hey, here's their email, like reach out to us, like let's talk, let's be connected. And so when you think about that and you're thinking about maybe there's somebody listening now that's going to read the book and maybe they're connecting with your story and they want to reach out, what's something that you hope that they're going to walk away with, like that they see you as a person?
that's a really hard question. I don't know. I guess like just I hope that from reading the book and seeing the illustrations that they can understand like how much work was put into it from both me and you, and just like appreciating us for our work. Because there's a lot of people which unfortunately take advantage of illustrators, and
Mm,
it's very easy to fall into that kind of pit where you're not getting appreciated for your work, which like I'm fortunate enough to be
mm,
obviously like working with you that you've never done that,
yeah,
and you've always appreciated how much work that I've done. Um,
yeah.
and I guess, yeah, just being able to see me as an illustrator rather than
Mm,
just some person who has illustrated the book.
yeah.
Like to be seen as, yeah, that's her job
Mm,
and that's what she
mm,
wants to do. And it's not just I'm doing it because I want to do it or
yeah.
just because I have to do it. It's because I genuinely love children's books and I love like the whole process of the book. Like, and I don't know, I worded that really badly. Um, I just love like the whole process of working on children's books and just illustration, I think is something that's very important to me and it always has been. Like I've grown up loving art like my
Mm,
whole childhood and for it to become my job is
yeah.
like a massive achievement.
That's huge. That's huge. And here's one thing I want to bring out because you touched on it a little bit and you didn't word it, but I'm gonna just call it out because I know this might be a subject too. But we're in the day and age now where honestly, AI, right, can try to
Yeah.
do honest what we created even.
Hmm.
And here's one thing I want to say to that, because I've used variations of it, for business and
Yeah.
whatever. There's so many different things, and it has its pros and cons, but you cannot honestly have an ongoing relationship with AI, meaning
I
we have this
agree.
friendship, right? We have things that have happened in our lives over the last 12 months that would not have happened with AI.
Yeah.
So I think AI is very project driven based, which is okay. Like I'm sure it can
Mhm.
create a great book or whatever, but where does it where it falls short is the relationships. Like you've had ideas to bring into this project that I would have never had. And we had our own stories, right, that we brought into this project and that made it more life-giving and encouraging. And so two things. One, don't trust AI. I mean, trust it, to get
Yeah.
some stuff done. Trust on a project base. But if you're really going to try to do something from a heart level, um, use whatever the basics, but really take some time and really connect at a heart level and do what you need to do to make that your passion and excitement. And number two, the thing that I'm walking away with is that as you're talking about creating, that this relational component is so important.
Yeah.
And there's
No.
relationships. And so don't create alone is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing too. And to be taking a risk to actually share with other people.
Yeah.
That's huge. And you did it.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you so much for enjoying this series with me, all about the Joy Catcher. And just in case you missed it at the very beginning, you can pick up this book right now. If you're looking for a book that can encourage, that can inspire, maybe even hold on to a dream that you want to have, well, come and pick it up. The Joy Catcher is available on Amazon and hopefully other bookstores. But to get the latest news, check out thejoycatcherbook.com, or you can also look at BethanyBoring.com. And again, I would love to see you in one of the groups. More information at BethanyBoring.com. And remember, dare to do more than just survive. Step out and thrive. See you guys back next week. Bye.